Ridgeway. As we near the end of the calendar year, I want to thank you for investing into the mission and vision of our church. It's also a great time for us to celebrate all that God has done in 2024. We sent out 2 of our pastors and dozens of our congregants to successfully launch 2 new church plants in the Westchester County area. We're committed to a 3rd, Armonk, and seeing that become an independent church. We've earmarked about $400,000 to seed and see these churches flourish well into the future. We've also seen the hiring of a senior pastor who I can personally attest is thrilled to be here at Ridgeway, as well as hiring a wonderful director of pastoral care and counseling. We've also seen ministry clarity and ministry enthusiasm. Clarity in that there's clarity on our mission and our new vision statements. We've taken all of fall, going into all of spring, to do a deep dive and distill so that every member would know exactly why we exist and how we believe we'll succeed. But as we turn the page into 2025 and beyond, we feel that we're at a Kadesh Barnea moment. That was a place in Numbers 13 where the 12 spies of Israel were sent out to explore the promised land. 2 of them came back and said, "We believe God has given us the land of milk and honey. He promised it 400 years ago," while the other 10 said, "Let's retreat. We'd rather just repeat, rinse and repeat last year." I believe that we're at an inflection point where Ridgeway, we're called to advance. We're called to take new ground. God has laid out a clear mission, a vision, how we're going to accomplish things. And the last thing that we can do is to retreat back to what happened in the past. And thus, we're launching this advanced stewardship campaign. The definition of advance means to move forward in a purposeful way. And the purposeful way has been laid out for us by the Lord, and we're asking for the faith to move forward into our destiny. 2 reasons why I believe you should consider being part of this campaign. Number 1, it's a discipleship issue. We care about your discipleship. Programs don't change people, but discipleship does. And one aspect of our discipleship is our generosity and stewardship with what God has entrusted us with. Part of your spiritual growth involves moving from what can I do with my money to how can I invest God's money into building God's kingdom. And second reason why we ask you to join is for kingdom impact. The funding toward ministry and operations is critical, but we're also believing that there are certain initiatives that are right around the corner. We want to improve care. Did you know that over 60 years ago, Ridgeway prayed for a county-wide Christian counseling center, and we believe that it will come to fruition in the next year. We also want to grow in initiatives of equipping. One thing I believe is very possible is that we have 1 to 2 year ministry internships where people have expressed a desire for full-time ministry, that they can come and their leadership can be built up, and it's a place where they can grow in their ministry skills. And so it's with that in mind that we've set a goal of $144,000 through pledge giving from November 24th to January 12th. You'll hear in the coming weeks of how the Lord laid that figure upon our hearts. Here are different things that we ask you to pray about. There's going to be 3 options, and we pray that you would commit to 1, if not 2. Number 1, if you are currently not a regular giver or tither at Ridgeway, can you pray about becoming a regular giver? Secondly, if you are a regular giver, will you prayerfully consider raising that amount of giving weekly? And lastly, will you choose to pledge a one-time gift of any particular amount? And through those means, we believe that we will position ourselves not only getting out of ourselves of the current fiscal year 30% deficit, but we will position ourselves in abundance to do more ministry than we ever imagined. Ridgeway, our calling is to advance. Will you prayerfully consider joining me?